Welcome to my first photography adventure video, with hopefully many more to come. In this video, I'll be taking you along a 3-day car camping trip up in the mountains near Lillooet, BC. My wife and I went up here back in November, and since I had just purchased my video camera shortly before the trip, I thought I would try filming it too. In this video, you'll see epic views at nearly 6,000 feet, cinematic drone shots, colorful photographs, and also our basic setup for car camping. Also, please be mindful of the fact that I did not have a dedicated microphone at the time of recording this video, so audio won't be the greatest, especially outdoors. But besides that, I'm excited to take you along for the ride. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. Not sure how good this footage is gonna look. If it'll be super shaky or maybe it'll be super cinematic. We're gonna find out. Lillooet is a place not many people know about, and like, if you don't have a four-wheel drive vehicle, there's so much of it you can't really get to enjoy. I think it's gonna be quite powdery like this on the way up and very minimal, so we should be okay. So snow is getting a little deeper and the road is getting a little steeper. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but that's just the fact of the matter. I've also made the preemptive decision to put on a thicker jacket because it is a wee bit chilly out here. I kind of want to go a little farther, but at the same time the light is fading and I don't want to do too much of this in the dark going down, because we have come up a long ways. And it is going to be a little bit sketchy going down a couple spots. But we'll see how it goes. Turned off the downhill assist for now. I'm actually going to leave it off right here too. And this is a little bit steeper. But just kind of fluttering the brakes when I do feel like I'm losing a little traction. And so far so good, to be honest. So far so good. Okay, made it back down to the point where it's not too sketchy with snow anymore, which is great. Light has faded away, but we're getting some nice color in the clouds, so I think I'm gonna take a couple shots here. Just some basic compositions, you know, with the landscape in the background and the trees and these beautiful clouds, and see if we can make something somewhat colorful out of it. Okay, so I actually opted to get the tripod out, put the ZV-1 on the tripod, and get the A7R4 because right now, as you can probably tell, we have a bit of color going on. So I have the 17-28 on the camera and the A7R4. I'm gonna shoot a couple handheld shots here. So I'm gonna try to focus on just kind of a log right in the frame here. I'm gonna take some shots with that as the foreground, and then there's a tree right there that's gonna be my main focal point, okay? Okay, I'm gonna officially stop recording there. I keep saying that we're gonna head out into town and I'll record later. But this is when I'll officially stop, and then I'll meet you later tonight once we find camp, and I'll kind of show you our setup and everything. So yeah, we'll catch you then. Alright, so since this is a pretty short trip, we don't have the rooftop carrier with us, so we're kind of just shoving our stuff down here under the bed. So we're going to organize everything here, kind of get ourselves all situated, and probably watch a movie and wrap up for the night. I might record later, but we'll see. I'll probably be recording sometime in the morning. So I'll catch you then. Okay, so it's now morning time. I was going to record some footage at camp, but this morning, like right as I was waking up for sunrise, a truck with like two hunters came up and they parked right in front of the RAV, right in this nice little spot I had found, quite high up in the mountains. And then got out of their truck and then they were like looking into the car and doing their scouting, like, you know, for their hunting, like maybe 20 feet away from the car. So I fired up the vehicle and then I was just barely able to scooch past their truck on the one side. But it was kind of a drop off, so it was a little bit sketchy. But yeah, that's how it goes, I guess. I mean, I'm out in what I feel is like the middle of nowhere, and I parked, up in a spot that didn't expect to see anyone at. So I didn't actually pack like our privacy screens and stuff, but I also didn't expect people to show up at that location that early in the morning. So a little bit of a bummer because I was planning to go up higher, but I thought I'm just gonna leave this mountain, and if I decide to, I can come back later. But really beautiful conditions today, really nice sunrise, so look forward to doing some photography today. We did some exploring this morning, got to a couple nice views, but I really want to get up like pretty high in the mountains, and I know this road will do it. It'll get me up to a pretty nice view, so I think we're gonna try and send it, and hopefully the hunters that were there earlier today are gone, but I can see a shimmering truck way off in the distance, so it's possible they might still be there. But we're gonna go give it a try, see what we can find. Made it back up pretty much as high as we did yesterday, but again, keep pushing on because again the snow is very, very light, and I think we can get up to some even better views. But it's funny, we came up to where we camped last night, and sure enough the hunters were still there, but they parked their truck a bit closer. But it's the only vehicle I've seen on the whole mountain, so like, I don't know, out in the middle of nowhere, right? Like, you're gonna go hunting somewhere or whatever the case, and then you decide to go park right in front of the only vehicle on the whole mountain and almost block us in. Doesn't make any sense to me. But anyway, we're back, and it's beautiful up here. Weather is amazing. I'm looking forward to camping tonight. I'm looking forward to maybe doing some astrophotography tonight too, if it works out okay with conditions. So far it's looking super promising, so pretty stoked about it. But yeah, I'll catch you up a little bit higher. So I think we made it to our location for tonight. We're just gonna kind of chill out this view here, since it's pretty windy and cold outside. It's nice and warm in the car, blocking the wind. Just gonna kind of enjoy the view and have some food, and then probably just gonna drive up a little bit and just kind of park in one of those little areas off to the side, so I don't have to worry about, anything sketchy happening at night, being so close to this edge. But yeah, it's pretty cool to be back here. I've definitely camped in more beautiful locations, but I think this is by far one of the most cool locations I've car camped at. And it was actually my first wild camping experience to come up here with my dad, so many years ago. We basically camped right up in those meadows right up there. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be back at this location again. We wanted to come back for quite a few years, and yeah, looking forward to spending the night here. I'm looking forward to doing some astrophotography and also catching sunset at this amazing location. I think it could be, has potential to have some good results. So probably check back in around sunset, get some photos, and then see where we end up camping tonight. What'd you think of this spot, babe?
I think it's cool.
Yeah?
Cold though.
A little bit. Not as bad as yesterday.
Yeah, I guess so. But it might be cold overnight.
Probably.
I just hope it's not as big.
I think we found our spot for camp tonight. It's a nice little kind of divot off the road here. Just able to back up into it because the mattress has a bit of a slant, so if I back up, have a bit of an incline on the rear of the SUV, then balances out, levels out. But yeah, we're gonna camp here for the night, have some food, do some astrophotography. Looking forward to it. I mean, it's a beautiful location, and it'll probably be chilly, but I think it's gonna be about the same temperature as last night because last night we were a little bit lower, but it was also supposed to be a colder night too. I think tonight is gonna be around -2, -3, so not too bad. I think we're also high enough now that I can't really see anyone planning to come up here between now and when we leave tomorrow, but we'll find out for sure later. Okay, so I figured I might as well make the best use of my time here because the days end so quickly. You know, it's not even 5 o'clock and yet it's already getting dark pretty quick. But I have this beautiful view, you know, this nice dramatic light, so I figured I'll take some pictures and kind of show you what I'm thinking here and see if we can capture something somewhat decent. Okay, so basically there's these two trees that have a nice distance from each other but are kind of in the same level of focus here. Not that those will be in focus specifically, everything's going to be in focus, but they're kind of a nice focal point for the foreground. So my idea is basically to, as you can see, basically trying to frame up those trees right in the middle, okay? Not leading lines per se, but just kind of a leading composition into those mountains in the background. So what I'm doing is I'm shooting everything, should we go to an f8? I'm doing bracketed exposures simply because there's just a lot of dynamic range with this scene. So I want to make sure that just in case I have extra exposures, you know, in case I do want to bracket those exposures in post. So I have my steady shot off, okay, shooting around f8, ISO 100 of course, base ISO, and then I also have a timer going on too. So I'm just letting it choose the shutter speed because shutter speed does not matter for this scene. And it's just gonna fire away some shots and, you know, possibly, hopefully catch something cool. Good morning. So I woke up for sunrise here, and I was a little bit late to the party because there's actually more color than I expected. Like, it's quite cloudy this morning. So when I first looked out the windshield at around 7 o'clock, I probably not gonna get any color, so I wasn't really in a rush. I just started heating up the car and then, you know, kind of waiting. And then I looked out the windshield about 15 minutes later, and there was a beautiful pink, you know, layer across the horizon. So I quickly got my gear together. As you can see, have myself all set up. But still kind of missed it. Like, I missed the good peak of that pink color. But I caught some of it, so I might share some of those now. Now I'm just kind of hoping that we get some glow on the mountains. And on like some of the peaks, I'm starting to see a little bit. But it's just kind of dependent on the clouds behind me, right? For all I know, there could be a pretty thick horizon blocking the sun. So
over the next 20 to 30 minutes, we should be able to determine whether or not we'll have a nice glow on the mountains, which would look quite nice. The only thing that would make this thing better is if we could have some snow on the trees. That would be really nice. But I think if you camped up here in anticipation of a snowfall, might make it a little bit sketchy going back down. Plus, of course, we don't have time to do that. But it's the only thing. Just some snow on the trees, just some icing on the trees would be sweet. So I think we're gonna pack it up, get ourselves ready to go to head back down, and then start doing some exploring on the way back to Vancouver. We have about 4.5 hours drive, so with the driving and maybe a couple of stops along the way, should be able to fill out the day and maybe catch a few cool locations, maybe get a few more pictures. We'll see how it goes. But all in all, I think this trip was a success. Really glad with how everything worked out. I'm glad that we're able to get up so high on this FSR. Like I mentioned last year, this road was basically dug out and deactivated. So it's nice to see that it's back again and accessible. And I mean, it's always a good time being up in the mountains, even when it's chilly like it is right now. Okay, so we made it back down to the bottom of the mountain. We descended about 4,000 feet. So at the top we were at around 5,800 feet. Down here we're about 1,750. So a bigger change in elevation than I expected, but also kind of makes sense why I felt a little bit off last night because I'm not really used to staying at higher elevations for very long. You know, that's high for me. For most people, you know, that are into going up mountains, 6,000 feet's not very high. But yeah, beautiful day today. Nice sunny skies. We have some stunning clouds too. So just gonna keep on trekking back down to Vancouver. See if we find anything cool on the way. But successful trip, honestly. I mean, I think it worked out really great with the weather. I'm really stoked how nice past couple days were. Just nice to get out of the city and get out and enjoy some beautiful time out in nature. So we'll see you possibly later on this trip. Okay, this is a little editor's cut. As you can tell, I look a bit different now than I did in the video, and that's because this video was shot in November 2023 and it's currently April 2024, and I'm finally getting to finishing the editing of this video. I'm really happy with how everything turned out, but it's just video editing is not something I particularly enjoy compared to photo editing, and I was not really looking forward to going through all this footage because, as you can tell, there's a lot of footage in this vlog and I made a ton of mistakes too. So I was trying to reduce how often those mistakes were actually in the final video. I also wanted to just quickly record this because I didn't really record a proper outro. So yeah, this is the outro. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, you're awesome. Thanks for putting up with nearly 20 minutes of me. And if you want to see more content like this, you know, be sure to comment below and share your thoughts of what you'd like to see. I'd also like to show you a few photos that I shot on this trip. So you're gonna start seeing those now. I just want to kind of play a little slideshow of these because I didn't really have the opportunity to in the video, just because I tried to showcase specifically when I actually took that composition and then show you the photo right after. So as it plays on the screen, those are the photos from the trip, or a few of my favorite photos from the trip. But yeah, overall, honestly, really great trip. It was a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to shooting a lot more of these vlogs in the future. In fact, I do actually have a few that are recorded and just need to be edited, and thankfully are way shorter than this one. So hopefully I can actually get those out a little sooner than 6 months. But you'll have to stay tuned for that. But anyway, that's all for now. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for all your support, and I'll catch you in the next video.